Everyone needs to bother about advertising effectiveness, absolutely everyone. For agencies, a focus on effectiveness means that they are moving themselves from being a supplier to being a trusted business partner. The client then is much more open to sharing critically important data, is much more open to really working collaboratively to set objectives, and it means that an agency can truly judge and value the impact of the work they're doing on their clients' business metrics.
It kind of puts a benchmark on where you're at within your company, where you're at within your advertising in general. It raises the bar in terms of where you're meant to be at.
You're judging yourself not only against the success of the campaign itself, but against an industry in a broader overall context.
Suddenly you're not the people who are producing brochures anymore. You're a revenue generating function within the organisation.
Effectiveness is about the capability of producing the desired outcome. Effectiveness in marketing, therefore, is the activities that a marketing department and their agency partners engage in that actually shift the business metrics, making sure that the business metrics you're trying to change are being impacted by the work you're doing and being able to demonstrate, of course, that impact as well.
You have to measure your effectiveness, otherwise there's no point in getting out of bed in the morning. You need metrics to kind of judge yourself against, to judge your campaigns against. You need KPIs. You need to build on those. You need to set your targets to make a purpose for your job.
What you need to be able to do is to judge the game that you're in and what winning looks like. Effectiveness is really about judging the overall impact of that. And if you're very, very lucky, if you have a strategic business partner in it, it's also about getting insight in terms of how to change the game in the first place. Effectiveness is really about winning the game that you're in.
Within our organisation we have a lot of actuaries, so it's not good enough for us to kind of sit down in front of them with a storyboard and go, do you like it? What we would say is bring them through the journey, but also these are our objectives of the campaign, this is what we're going to try and get across, these are our clear KPIs and this is what we're going to deliver. If you can come back and if you have delivered within all of those KPIs and all of those metrics, well then when you go to look for more investment in your communications and all that kind of thing, you're going to be taken seriously.
Largely we won't be talking to marketing professionals. We can drown in the complexity of all the different data that we have, but if we translate it into something simple, then that's something that can be understood and bought into by an organisation, because I think ultimately an effective advertising or an effective set of metrics allows actually everybody to collaborate and input into it.
It's absolutely essential that agencies and marketers spend more time in the why. Have to spend a lot of time in the how and the what, of course, but they must spend a lot of time in the why. And it's essential to become world class that you move from worrying too much about the inputs and much more to worrying about the impacts. What sort of data are you looking for? What is the data designed to prove or not prove? How much time are you giving your client to get the data together for you that you're asking for? I mean, we're very, very happy to share data with our agencies, but then we work with our agencies on a trusted business partner model. So it wouldn't make sense for us not to share it.
If agencies want to be a strategic business asset, then they should be engaging in a strategic planning process. And I think that'll make that data piece a lot easier because you're working on a shared set of metrics. If you're coming lastminute.com looking for data, well, at the end of the day, you're just going to get a data dump. What you're actually trying to engender is that the company itself wants to share data with you. So is that it's actually trying to get to a point where the agency itself is helping unlock insights.
The more trust that we've built up with our agencies, the more respect that we have with each other, the better relationship we have, the more data we're going to share. We found in the last couple of years that the more data that we do share with them, the better the results that we have.
We look to index our data quite a lot, so it would be important that any agency looking for data from us for an award would need to be asking us a bit in advance. But on an ongoing, general day-to-day, how is your work impacting our business, we should be sharing that data with you regularly, and we do. I'm always very happy for our work to be put forward if our agency believes that it's a high enough standard to win an award, and we obviously are always aiming to produce absolute best in class, high caliber work, because that's what our customers expect and that's what our internal stakeholders expect as well.
You want to enter into a competition that is prestigious and real, and that is something that not only your peers but outsiders can look in and say, actually, you know what, winning that is a mark of being the best. We want to win awards, you know, and we want the partners that we work with to be the best in their business.
We'll talk about a campaign and then suddenly it'll be like, oh, you know, there might be actually a good angle for that if we were to enter the awards next year. So suddenly you're talking about awards next year as opposed to there's an award next week, can you give us loads of data? In the last couple of years it's been quite different. It's been a much more thought out approach. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it.
There's often nervousness among clients when agencies look to enter these type of awards as to who's going to be looking at the submissions, what sort of information is going to be shared, who's on the judging panel, that kind of thing. So it's very important that agencies approach this in a hugely professional manner, looking at how they share the information, looking at indexing data so that clients are comfortable with what's happening. I mean, the UK have built up a fabulous data resource over 30 years of the IPA awards, and I'm commending IAPI for looking to get to a same model here in Ireland. I think it's essential. Agencies really have to invest in the rigour of planning, in the rigour of measurement, in having people who really understand their client's business. And that is the change that I would like to see in all Irish agencies, that they really, really get to the heart of what their client is trying to achieve with the work that they're producing for them.